Because men are leaders, women are not. Now, that doesn't mean women can't be leaders, but what it means is when you're going to lead an entire country or state and stuff like that, it's supposed to be done by a male.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If leadership is supposed to be done by males and not females, then what are the relevant differences between males and females that make males better at leading?
The fact that they don't think emotionally.
Okay, and what is your evidence that men don't think emotionally?
I mean, you look at Trump. Do you think he thinks emotionally?
Yes,
You think he thinks emotionally?
very much so.
Okay. All right. I mean, if that's how you feel, then you win the argument
He
then.
was so emotional that he lost the 2020 election, and he thinks so emotionally that he just basically believed that he won it. He was so emotional when a female reporter was pressing him on the important questions that he told her to shut the hell up, called her unintelligent, and labeled her as a piggy. He's such an incredibly emotional man that he was so mad that he lost the Nobel Peace Prize to a woman, by the way, that he then created his own FIFA Peace Prize and gave it to himself. Okay, he's a very emotional man. And by the way, I'd actually
I'll agree
argue,
with that.
on average, I think that women are less emotional than men.
Which type of women?
All women, right?
All?
As a general statement, women are less emotional than men, on average.
So should we remove all the males from the Department of the force, any of the armed forces that we have, and just put females in there?
I'm not really sure what the basis or the nature of your question is. What I will say is I think that although women are less emotional on average than men, this doesn't mean that all men are emotional. So I mean, it's a pretty simple refutation of that last statement.
But if you
I
think
can I
women
can
are
I
stronger,
can I prove to you that women are less emotional than men?
I mean, you can try.
Okay. Can we agree that violent crime is a very irrational and emotional response to external stimuli?
A good majority of the time, yes.
So then why are 92% of violent crimes committed by men? And your answer shouldn't be because they're physically stronger on average, because even violent crimes that don't require physical strength, like cyberbullying or arson, are also disproportionately perpetuated by men.
Yeah. So if you look at the amount of murders that happen or violent crimes where it leads to DEATH, and it's a horrible act. Like, in other words, something that is not just somebody used by somebody's GUN, and it's multiple stabbings, whatever, and that's a very violent act. And you look at how women unalive people. Usually, I'm not saying all the time. Usually it's done through like some type of poisoning or something where the physical body doesn't have to interact in a violent manner.
That is still a violent crime. To poison somebody to death is still a
No, it's
violent
not a
crime.
violent. It's not violent. It's
It
not
is,
violent.
it is classified by our government as a violent crime
It may
to
be
murder somebody by
classified, but
poisoning them.
it may be classified, but it's not engaging
So,
in front of
so
them.
facts don't care about your feelings. The fact is that it is classified as a violent crime by the FBI, and still yet, according to FBI crime statistics, men commit 92% of all violent crimes.
Yeah, because men are more powerful like that.
Well, we already went over how this wouldn't hinge more powerful. What do you mean by powerful there?
I mean, like,
More emotional? You
men
mean
are
like more
strong.
irrational and more
Men
emotional?
are stronger by
Oh,
nature. We're designed to be protectors.
so, well, it's definitely not in the nature of a protector to commit violent crimes. It's also definitely not the case that the reason why men commit more violent crimes on average is because they're physically stronger. As violent crimes, they don't need physical strength. They're still disproportionately committed by men. I already brought up cyberbullying. But I actually think that the argument that men are more likely to be violent is because men are more likely to be a protector. It would imply that if you are a protector, therefore you want to commit violent crimes, which is antithetical to the nature of what a protector should do. Not to mention that typically protectors are inferior to who they protect.